Jambo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you tuned in. Welcome to Word Cafe. Today we continue with the series we had last time about financial good health. Karibu.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Thank you.
Kwa Kiswahili karibu.
Kwa Kiswahili karibu inamaanisha nini?
Namaanisha thank you.
It means welcome. Okay, thank you viewers.
Yes. Last time you took us through some serious financial matters. There we go. You took us through some serious financial matters, basing on the written word of God, basing on general living disciplines. Yeah, and I promise you something, that you helped someone, and that someone is willing to not to miss part 2 of it.
I hope so. I hope somebody was.
You took us through a debt.
Managing your debts.
Yes. And then a debt.
We also talked about identifying investment opportunities.
Yes.
And
aligning yourself with developments.
Yeah,
in the government.
The government development agenda.
Yes.
Yeah, very key.
But I want you to teach something on how to avoid this trap of kukopa kulipa deni. You said kukopa kulipa deni is like digging a hole.
A bigger hole.
No, digging a hole to cover a hole.
Digging a bigger hole to cover a smaller hole. Because you cannot take a bigger debt to cover a smaller debt. You can never take a smaller debt to pay a bigger debt.
So eventually you will run into trouble.
A lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So I think my viewers and all over, I want to really appreciate for this opportunity once again. It's a privilege to learn something about financial good health. And just to recap what we did last time we explained that financial good health simply means the ability to make sound financial decisions. It's not about having a lot of money in your pocket. It's good to differentiate. You can have a lot of money in your pocket, but you're not financially sound. So we said it is more of making sound financial decision. Before that will make you to manage your money. I can imagine just a good example. I observed this some time back when there were promotions, and there was this guy who won around 5 million. He used to be be a businessman, and he was just roasting meat and selling some soup, the bone soup. Then by good luck he won the 5 million. And I think the mistake, he didn't have the capacity to manage the money. So the first thing he did, he closed the business. He closed the business through the jikos and and the superiors he gave to people whom he thought were more poor and more needy. And there were people who scheme. Whenever you have money, people scheme with that money. So good schemers came. They started giving him big ideas. Part of the ideas were to buy land and invest in many things. Within 1 year, this guy realized he had lost all the money, and the little money remained he also went into drinking. After 1 year, this man had literally nothing. And that makes me to think sometimes our main problem is not lack of money. Our main problem is the ability to make sound decisions, even with the little money that we have. And before I go to the pillars that I want to talk, yesterday I was talking to a team of friends, and they were asking me. One of them asked me that if I'm employed and I earn as low as 10,000, how do I plan myself? And I was telling them, as I said last time, in this world there is no big money, there is no small money. The size of the money is in the attitude. You can have a big money, but when your attitude is bad, that big money is very small every day. But there are people who have little money, but because they have the right attitude towards that money serves them very well. So I was giving them a good example, like if today you are earning 10,000, how do I budget with 10,000 on a monthly basis in a way that I can still live smartly? And I said the first thing on your budget, for me, who is a strong believer in the Bible, the first thing is the 10% belongs to God. Don't even argue about it. Just know 10% of that 10,000 belongs to God. So that has already moved you to 9,000. And I said, because savings is not an option, it's not a luxury. Savings is a key part of your budget. So we said that the next 10% of your earning should actually be allocated to your savings. You've not gone to any other thing. It's 10% for God, 10% should go for your savings. And that's why if you are in a working environment and maybe you have a circle, you better commit that savings to a circle. Don't save in your house, because anything can come up and you find yourself picking that money. Have a savings plan whereby you don't easily access that you're saving. Like in a circle, you don't walk in a circle today and say, can you give me my savings? Yeah, it may take you some procedures. So commit it to a circle. Number three thing on the budget, I said that if you are an employee and you are renting a house, then in the lower cadre, where the lower bracket earners, I mean those who are earning between 50,000 all the way to 10,000, your rent should never go beyond 30%.
So if I'm earning 30,000,
if you are earning 30,000, 30% of your rent is 9,000. It should never. The 9,000 is even on a higher side. If you have a way of squeezing it downwards, it is even better. So in this case, we are talking about 10,000. So if you are earning 10,000, ensure that you don't go to a house which is being charged more than 3,000, because once you do that, you find yourself off the balance. If possible, get even a house which is less than that 30%, because you must accept that this is my ability. I may not live as somebody who is earning 50,000. Then the fourth thing on your budget should be the transport, because maybe you are employed, you'll be going to work, you may need to take some tuk-tuk or some matatu or some boda. The transport should not be more than 20%. So I've talked about the first 10%, the next 10%, the next 30%, that comes to 50 plus 20%, that comes to 70. That 20% means there are decisions you need to make. One, could you get a house maybe near where you are working, a house whereby you can just walk to the place of work? You don't have to arrive at work with a taxi or with a boda for you to prove any point. Number two, can you get a place which is easily accessible? It may not be near the work, but at least it has got easy transport. There are matatus that are going there. There are either tuk-tuks that are going there, so that you cut down, you ensure your budget fits there. The remaining 30%, that's now where you are to budget. Wherever you appear in the supermarket, you must ensure that your budget operates within that 30%. And if at all you are having a child going to school, then you'll divide the 30% between the house budget and the school, and that means 10% you must preserve for school, and you're only remaining with 2,000 to budget for your house. That means you'll be so crazy to take your child to a school whereby the school fee is more than 1,000 per month. And sometimes we do this thing because you want to satisfy people's ego that even my child is also going to a big academy. No, you just cut it within your budget. You know that 1,000 is there for school for 12 months, it is 12,000. All your budget for the school must not go beyond that 12,000. And that means you may even decide to put your child in a very good public primary school. By the way, the fact that your child is in a private school does not guarantee success. Success sometimes is in the quality of the education. Some public primary schools have got superior quality. But sometimes it's just because somebody feels like maybe I work with a bank, so what will people say when they see my child going to a public school? Don't live for people. Sometimes you need to be realistic and live your life as a person within your budget. So the 20% remains for your house budget. Then this is my advice. You have just been employed. You have allocated 20%. That is 2,000 for this. Is how now you start to play around with your earning. 2,000 for transport, and you know if you're just paying transport every day, that money will be just going to a waste because you can't recover it. So I tell people what you need to do. Can you now, maybe you are in this structured employment whereby you can access a bank loan. Can you use this 2,000 to access a loan and buy a motorbike? And when you buy that motorbike, that simply means this motorbike will be dropping you at work. And then after dropping you at work, you can give a young man and you tell him, every day, I want you to be giving me 300 shillings.
After you drop me?
You go for work. 300 shillings, maybe this guy is working for 25 days in a month. That will be 300 times 25, that is 7,500. You can imagine how your 2,000 budget for transport is now beginning to cater for some other part of the budget. And after some time, the piki will be, you'll clear the loan. You have now an asset that you can use now for generating more income. The next thing I tell people, especially when you get employed, don't be too comfortable in a rental house. You have this 3,000, 30%, which can go for your rent. Why can't you approach a financial institution, get some soft loan, go and buy, even if it is a 0 point something of a plot. Decide even to put there a mabati structure. Move to that thing. Number one, you are killing the rent expense, and again, this is now your property. And then as time goes by, you can see how to improve on this property. So that is how I would advise somebody who is struggling with how do I balance my small income that I get per month. Because money, as I said last time, there's no big money, there's no small money. Those who are billionaires are busy looking for more money, and those who are having small money are busy crying about their small money. So you must adjust your expectation. So I wanted to clarify that, Fred.
Now, the clarification is clear, is clarified by the clarifier.
There is nothing like clarify.
Now, I'll take you back to where you said this guy had a business, and when he won this jackpot, he threw away what made him what he was.
That's true.
He had to begin another new life. Don't you think this is a trap most of us fall in?
He has not picked up to today. Almost 12 years down the line. He has not picked up. And it is not the first one. Just follow closely the history of those who have won jackpots. A few have succeeded, but a good chunk have actually lost their money. And how they lost their money is because they didn't have the capacity to manage the money. I realize that as you want to acquire more money, it is good to expand your capacity to manage more money. There are people today, if they earn, they just touch some good money, the first thing they will think of is marrying more women. And maybe now if somebody, I've seen these guys who want to drive They can even hire Prado to go to the village. Prado, the hired vehicle is not your vehicle, but just to make people feel, no, please, capacity to handle money is, and that is what is happening to most of us today. A good example, Fred. Some days back, there are a lot of government compensations that have taken place in Kenya. Just go step by step, ask yourself, those who got compensation during the maybe SGR. Just go. I know you are a media guy. Just do your research and ask me what percentage of those people are still having money.
The only people I know are those who are resettled after the elections in 2008.
Exactly. Because government acquired the land and relocated them.
Yes.
But not the ones who were given money.
Those who are given land sold it. Most of them. Those who are given money have no idea.
You need to go and look for that idea. Because I can tell you, I happen to have interacted with some of few friends, and you hear the stories, they are nasty stories. Because at that point, some of the schemers came in and ate that money. And after eating the money and you are left alone, they desert you. Some of them desert you when you are now on your sick bed because of the stress that you have. So there are people who scheme with your money, and you need, I tell people today, if maybe you get some big money which you didn't expect. To me, the first thing which you need to do, go and deposit that money in a bank. Maybe in an account which can earn you some interest, and just continue with your life. As you
Which account is this? Fixed?
We have fixed deposit accounts.
Which earns you how much?
Currently, we have they range. Depending on the bank, they range from 6.25 all the way to 10%. So it depending on the amount you want to do. Apart from that, there are treasury bonds. You just need to go to a bank and ask them more about how you can go about treasury bonds. Put your money there and go and cool off your head first. Because when you make decision, when this thing, the feeling of this sudden money is still fresh in your mind, you are likely to make very wrong decisions with that money. And at that point, there are people who are likely to come into your life, and they are likely to help you to actually lose your money. So I tell people, leave alone that those who have won money, my brother. There are this, even in the sports world, we have a lot of our friends who have earned a lot of money in sports, but some years down the line, they can't count for anything. They can't account for anything.
True, that's true.
But there are people who have won in the sports world because they have very good managers. Those guys have done tremendous in terms of investment. The difference between the two is one got very good financial advice,
yes,
but the other one never bothered to.
Alikula pesa yake.
Actually, when you approach them, even as a bank, to talk to them, they think you want to con them. They'd better trust a muganga somewhere and not a professional person to advise them. So we encourage you, please, when you get some money you didn't expect, seek a professional advice. Preferably, go to somebody who you are sure is a professional. Don't go to some con people. So that is a trap, as you have said.
A good friend advised me on, when you have money and you want to begin a business, don't begin a business that you have never tried. Like if you are into motorcycles maintenance, or if you are into, let's say, clothes, either second hand or new, but you know the business of clothes and you have money, don't open a butchery.
Fred, that is a good advice, but not realistic.
Okay.
When I tell you today, don't try a business you have never tried, then nobody will do business. All the businesses that are existing, somebody risked and tried. The only thing I tell people is gauge your risk absorption level. If today I have $1 million and that is all that I have in between me and the next life, then you need to ask yourself, if I lose the million, what will happen to me? Will I go into depression? If you realize you'll go into depression, keep that money. Don't try anything.
Keep
first.
it safe. Don't even eat.
Then ask yourself, what if I try with 100,000? If I lose 100,000, will I still be myself? If you realize you'll be yourself, find a business that you can try with 100,000, because that is where your
heartbeat will stop.
Your heartbeat will not stop. But if so, please, when you have money and you are not sure of a business, one, it is good to seek advice from people who are positive, who can advise you about that business, and that means try to interact with those who are already in business. I know a good percentage will discourage you. Some will try to con you. I know a friend who tried consulting a person whose relative is in a business, and the only thing they could do was to con them, just to ensure that it does not start that business. But there are still good people in this market who would be very willing to tell you these are the challenges, because what you need to know is, what are the risks in the business I want to do? What can I do to mitigate this risk? I want a good example. You want to start a taxi business. One of the
which
risks
you have never done.
Which you have never done.
Unaona watu mtaani tu.
Unaona watu mtaani. One of the risks is, what if this vehicle gets an accident and it gets written off? So a good advisor will tell you, okay, what you do, could you take an insurance, a comprehensive insurance, so that if any case,
again with a good reliable,
with a reliable insurer, so that if any case that is what happens, you are not losing your money. At the same time, they will a good advisor would tell you then, could you join, maybe if there is a transport circle where you can put your vehicle there, because already there are people who are experienced in that. Then that would be an avenue whereby you can put your vehicle under that circle, or even these are the apps. A good advisor will tell you, can you try, instead of just doing a standalone taxi, could you join an app whereby at least they are already experienced, they have a customer base that you can start from. So don't just think and just jump into it, because I know some people, they get like they have retired, they get their retirement package, and somebody go and tell them matatu is the next thing. The moment you buy the matatu, the following day you hear the matatu has rolled, and the whole of your money has rolled, and it can really break your heart. So please, just try to do a market research. Just try to, and research does not mean a big scientific thing. Just walking into those who are doing it and ask them questions, try to interact with them, and just start small. Don't today, if maybe you have retired and you have been given 10 million, don't put all 10 million into a first time business you're trying. Just try small, take some time, observe how it's going. Then after that, you can make a decision whether you want to go into it big time, or you do want to withdraw and try another thing. But don't fear trying. Right. Every business has got a risk. It depends on the level of risk. Number two, please, don't gamble with your money.
Hapo kwa gambling.
Don't gamble with your money, because I've seen people who have gambled with their money. And gambling.
Where do we draw the line? Gambling ni nini?
Gambling is anything that promises you very huge return, but you're not sure about the security of your investment. They're not giving you assurance of the security about the security of your investment, but they are very loud about the return. They tell you, if you bring $1 million today,
you'll have
after 3 months you'll have 5 million. But they're not telling you the security of whether, and that's what happened in the pyramid schemes. They went to the churches, they went to people who had money, they influenced you, and within no time you go to that same place, you did the paperwork, you find the door is closed, or you find now it is a retail shop, and you ask the shopkeeper, is this the XYZ company? The shopkeeper tells you, my friend, you are lost. It's not there. They moved away. That is why you'll fall down and faint. So
but before you faint, you'll try putting that retail shop on fire.
The owner will not accept.
Don't joke with money.
The owner will not accept. So please, what I'm saying is, don't be so much excited when somebody promises you very huge returns.
Yeah.
When they tell you about the huge returns, can you do your own background check and ask yourself, what is the security? Because it is better today, if I have 1 million and I have a place whereby I can only get 50,000, you better put it in that a place to get 50,000, but you are 100% sure of your capital, than placing it in a place where I'm being promised 1 million, but I'm not sure at all. The security is 0%.
But with vehicles, I learned that there are companies that are giving a premium, and I thought it was good. Mm-hmm. I think it's good. Mm-hmm. Even banks are giving, where you insure a vehicle as under asset insurance.
Yes, in insurance premium financing.
Yes.
That happens through the banks, and but that is just to ensure. First is against accident. If at all your vehicle gets an accident and it needs to be repaired, but then when you do comprehensive insurance, and you ensure there are other riders like the excess protectors to avoid you spending more. Number two, it also insures you against loss. If your vehicle is stolen, it also insures you against vandalism. Maybe the music system, somebody has broken into a vehicle and vandalized it. And in a case whereby your vehicle is spoiled and it is written off, it assures you that the insurance will return you to where you are supposed to where you were before the accident occurs. So that can just approach the financial institutions. Experts. You don't know, sometimes people fear the comprehensive because they think it's a huge amount, but you can get installment payments from I know several banks that does that, and I encourage people to do that. So please don't gamble with your money.
Betting.
I as a pastor, I even tell people that thing is evil.
Have you ever tried betting?
Never.
Nilijaribu. Hey, charity sweepstake where you buy a ticket and you... So it was 10 bob.
You tried with 10 bob?
Yes. I won 100. But then this guy told me, no, that's too much. You have to buy more tickets. So he sold it to me more tickets. I continued. One of the tickets I won 200. Now I have how much? 260 because I had bought 240 because I had bought tickets worth 60. One for 20 and 10. So at that level he thought, no, if we continue now like this. So he decided to give me the money and walk away. So I didn't look back.
Now, let me tell you, my viewer, is when you have your hard-earned money, because I've had a lot of scenarios in our, especially in our nation, whereby a parent who thought he had some 80,000 to pay school fee, and they thought if they bet with it, they could get some additional 80,000 and pay school fee for 2 years, and they ended up losing the 80,000. Because it is a potea pata thing. You either get it or you lose it. But the chances you are going to lose it is, because even the companies that does the betting, they are not there to just dish out money. They'll ensure there's just a percentage that will go out as compensation. I've had people who have done betting with house rent. That's how bad it is. And I can tell you, my brother, there are families that are today broken because a lady gave the husband money to pay
school fee. Then
the husband decided to bet the money and he lost the money. The next thing the woman sees is the child has been sent back home. At that point, the mzee does not even come back home. The mzee just gives himself a leave because things are not well. I've also seen people who have done betting even with their properties. Somebody has placed his car for a betting and they have ended up losing. So please, Betting is not an investment, so forget about. In financial good health, I tell people betting is not part of things that I take my time to talk about. Put your money in a framework that one you are assured of the security. Even if there are risks there, but there are risks that you can mitigate. You cannot mitigate a risk in betting. You can never mitigate a risk in betting. So please, I think that is what I want to say, Fred. Betting is, I've never go for betting. I've never done it myself.
There is a question here.
Okay.
I know you may want to try betting when you grow old.
Never.
Yeah, there is a question here from Mary Tindo.
Okay.
I don't know where she's watching from, but the question is, how can one know a good insurance? Cause majority are a scam.
Majority are a scam.
A very genuine question. Please.
Okay. Sometimes we especially the general public, we get confused about how do I know a good insurance. One, there is always the IRA website, Insurance Regulatory Authority. By the way, they'll give you more details about the various insurance companies. For you to gauge a good insurance company, the best thing you need to do, one is the rate at which they pay the claims. However big the name is, if an insurance company cannot pay the claims, then you are, even if you bought that insurance and put it on your vehicle, I can tell you, your vehicle is as well as not covered. That sticker is just there to prevent the police from arresting you. So please, one, visit the IRA, because a good an insurance must be regulated, must be actually licensed by the Insurance Regulatory Authority.
Yes.
So visit that website, get which are these insurance firms that are rated there.
Yes.
There are also ratings that are done on insurance firms showing which one pays their claims and which one has delays. And sometimes even on the news, on the papers, you will see these things coming out. So don't go for an insurance just because your relative came and convinced you. Ask yourself those fundamental questions of one, are they properly regularized and licensed? Number two, are they insurance firms that pay their claims? Number three, I don't know what the person who is asking this, because there's a difference between
her name is Mary Tindo. She's from Nairobi.
Yes, I don't know if Mary Tindo is talking about a broker or the underwriter. Because there's the underwriting company, which is the insurance itself.
Yes.
But there's a broker. So you need
with a small office somewhere.
As a broker is just a small office, but the actual person who pays the claim is the insurance company. So you really need to, even as you go to that broker and they're selling you the sticker, ask them which is the underwriting company. And I think that would really help you also to make a decision, so that you're not just trusting the. I know some people have insurance and they believe that broker, they believe that is the insurance.
And what I learned from the brokers, they have the printer there.
Yes.
They print you the sticker there.
True.
So, but at least nowadays, there is a QR code where you can scan and...
How many people know that? Not everybody. Many people, what they want is the sticker.
Police hazikushike.
Police hazikushike. Actually, they call you when they have seen a police. They tell you police. But it's good to get the details to know who is the insurance company behind the broker, because the brokers, they are distribution channels. I think that's a brief of what I can tell Mary today. Even for police, insurance is not just for motor vehicles. There are insurance whereby you can also buy policies for investment.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not in this forum to talk about any name, even the ones which I associate with, but there are insurance if you can talk to me, I can tell you which ones which are very good for especially investment policies. You can buy trust units. You can also buy education policies for your children. So insurance, let us remove this insurance from the issue of just motor vehicles. Insurance is huge. There are insurance for critical illness, which is today is a very key thing. The insurance for medical covers.
Niko nyingine pia insurance ambayo inafanya kazi tu only when you die.
Last expense,
yes.
A very good thing. A very good thing. Somebody pays like almost 6,000, then you are put on a cover of $500,000. If you lose your family member, then the compensation is up to $500,000.
So Mary is asking, broker and your agent, Yama?
Broker is the sales, actually the sales office.
Your agent?
Is actually the agent.
Broker and agent,
they are intermediary. They connect you to the mother insurance company that actually does the insurance itself.
Okay, uko na salamu kutoka kwa Misiko Leonard.
Okay.
My resident pastor.
Who is that?
Anaitwa Misiko Leonard.
Oh, Leonard.
Pastor Thomas Ogaloh, my resident pastor during my good days at Faulu Bank. God
Leonard.
Bless you. Yeah. People
Leonard,
know you, my friend.
Leonard, I miss you wherever you are.
So, yeah,
he's a good friend.
So maybe because of the interest of time.
Okay, continue.
Sitaki kuzuia hiyo kitu ulikuwa unataka kusema.
The main thing has been done. Actually, today we were to go through just the pillars for financial good health.
Yes.
And I think last time we talked about, there are several pillars that for us to have sound financial good health, we really need to be very sober about. One is the pillar called savings. And I said in the last time I was here, that savings should be part and parcel of your budget. Don't handle savings like it is for change or for leftovers. No. When you handle savings for leftovers, that is how savings will treat you in the future. So please come up with a very strong savings mechanism even as you deal with the smaller or the little resources that you have. Let us train our children to start saving at young age, so that when they grow up, the money does not become their destroying point. Because I've seen people who are very rich, but the moment they started giving their children money, the only thing they could do was to go for drugs, simply because they were not told that you can have an account with a bank to save. Number two thing I talked about last time is please manage your debts well. Never dig a big hole to close a smaller hole. When you get yourself in a debt trap, stop digging any debts. And you better even dispose some of your properties and clear your debts. I've seen a good number of people. I don't know why we like sometimes when you are in a debt, then you take your debtors, your creditors through legal processes, and knowing very well that whichever way, even when you go through the legal processes, you still pay. I always tell people, instead of waiting for your creditor to come and dispose your property, why don't you just take a step yourself and agree with your creditor that please give me time, I dispose my property and pay. Because when people know that a property is under auction, the price that they pay for it is actually lower than the actual price that you could have gotten if you just sold your property at your own free liberty. So please, just be good to your creditor, because you may need it another time. The third thing I talked of is living within your means. And I said, whatever you cannot afford today, you don't have to die for it. You can still get it tomorrow. There is still another day. As long as God gives us good health and life, we can still get these things another day. So you don't have to borrow heavily to live well today. There are things we can avoid today. And please, don't be under pressure. Some people, why we're living beyond our means is you want to please everybody. Every funeral in the village, you must send money, even if you don't have it. No, please. Sometimes when you don't have it, let them understand you don't have it.
Okay. Hapo. This gets each one of us at one point.
That is true.
From the relatives.
That is true.
how do we manage between what we have, what we want to save, and when we should give out?
I tell people one thing. You can never give people what you don't have.
Lakini uko nayo kidogo.
You cannot give people what you don't have.
Have you noticed? Ukitumiwa kakitu tu kwa M-Pesa, hata ndio Safaricom wanakutumia offers, sijui kuna bad.
But what I'm saying first, please work within your budget. If you have and you can help, don't also withdraw. Because the Bible says also that don't postpone helping if you're in a position.
If you are
in a position to help, don't postpone. When you are not in position, don't kill yourself saying, oh, how will people look at me? They know I'm working with a big company. No, you don't have. Just tell them, for now I don't have. Next time I will help.
Ama uko nayo na ni ya school fees.
Simple. I've had cases whereby somebody calls you because you're working in Mombasa, Fred is working in Mombasa, and there's a funeral in the village, and they say, now we have sat down as a committee, we have decided the bull to be slaughtered. Oh, they are even lucky they have a bull to slaughter. You have a school fee, your child is at home. Then you want to send people money to slaughter bulls. Forget it. If it is not there, say it is not there. If it is there, I will gladly give it out. Number two, please avoid a lot of comment. And again, if no is the best and most appropriate answer, you better say no. Because most of us, where we mess it is, you know you don't have it, but you give people false hope. You tell them, wacha niangalie.
Wacha tuone vile kutaenda.
Wacha tuone vile kutaenda. When you say that, you are actually locking yourself into that debt. Because now people will have...
Kataa tu.
Yeah. Just tell them, if you're sure you don't have the money, say I don't have it.
Ama hata ukisikia tu mazee unaweza niokolea na... No,
I don't have it for now.
Okay.
Maybe I will do it next time. So don't leave some...
My friend, next time will come.
I will tell you I don't have it. So I think that is very key. Please live beyond your means. Sometimes maybe you are working with an institution and you want to, your colleagues are living in some big estate paying a huge rent. You don't have to be the same. If your ability is to stay in another different, more affordable place, just accept that this is what I am. I'll be better tomorrow. The next thing on the pillars to financial good health, I said, is investment. And I said, please, let us be very keen on what we call investment. Don't put your money in things that are not investment. Shylock, how do we call it, pyramid schemes are not investments. What they do, they will ensure if Fred is the first person, they will ensure Fred gets, because they have seen Fred has got a good network of people, they will ensure Fred gets a very good payback. So that Fred brings in his 10 friends. But now they will ensure out of the 10 friends, 8 of them must lose their money. And they will have disappeared. So the problem will not be them. The problem will be Fred. Your friends will blame you forever, the rest of their lives, because you are the one who introduced them to them. They will not even talk about the scheme. The scheme will have gone. How will you even know? I hear some of these guys talking of online forex investment thing. My friend, you are cheated. A friend of mine called these guys. They tell them, oh, your money is almost maturing. Deposit 20,000. He deposits. Telling me, oh, my friend, your money is just here. Can you add another 30,000? The moment he was reaching 100,000, this guy's phones were off. You can imagine how bad people are. So please don't get into some things which you cannot authenticate. Me, I prefer get the small margin, but deal with an institution that you are sure tomorrow I can go there. If it is a bank, even if that bank goes under, you know there is the depositors protection fund. You know the CBK here, which is there to take care of your interest. But don't put your money in things that you're not sure. Number 2, please. Put some money in properties, especially properties that you're sure their values keep on going up. last time I talked about dead assets. Don't dump your money, but strategically put your money in. Land is still an opportunity, but do proper due diligence. Ensure that the land you're putting your money in, you've done all the paperwork well, and all the procedures are done well. I've heard somebody telling me that he has paid money for a land which is ancestral land, which has not even been, succession has not even been done. Honestly speaking, you'll be lucky if you get your piece. Fred, you're laughing. You'll be lucky to get your piece. Because what happens about succession, if these are my sons and they are 9, and at the time of succession one of them raises an issue, you will not even be considered anywhere. Because the issue will not be you, the issue will be
the 9,
the family. So if they raise any objection, please, that's why I tell people, don't deal with things which are too ambiguous. You can't join A to Z. Just be simple. If somebody wants to sell it for you land, just do the other paperwork properly.
Okay.
So that is a bit of the pillars. Please, again, I want to say, access to credit is a very key to our financial good health. But good credit. I have to talk about this because it is something which should help you. What I mean by good credit, one, a good number of people there. In Kenya we have a category of people who are, some of them are very comfortable keeping their big titles in their houses, and yet those titles could be one of the tools they could use to develop some of their properties when they deposit them with the banks and they are given money. But there are also categories, all their titles are in the bank and they are continuing, they have decided to risk and they are making progress. Number 2, please, as you approach your creditor, ask all the questions that are necessary. Because I know of some of the players in the market whereby somebody will come and tell you, I'm giving you this loan today, Fred. This loan is 5%. But you need to ask 5% meaning what? Because 5% could mean 5% per month. 5% per month times 12 months means 60%. So if you take 1 million, you'll pay 1.6 million. If you are paying that loan within 1 year. Honestly speaking, that is not a loan.
That's a con.
I may not call it a con, but it is an expensive thing. There are very few businesses that can pay that.
Yeah.
Unless it is a business whereby you are buying some, maybe it is land and you are subdividing the same day. Before the year end, you have sold those pieces and you can pay.
Yeah.
But please don't take such big loans to put in a business where whose margin is very narrow and cannot pay. You'll struggle for some time. And I've also said, please don't go for loans to, then you just decide not to pay. Last time I said that a wicked man borrows and never pays. There are people who just borrow loans from banks and they think they will go away with it. You are not helping anybody. You are not helping yourself. Actually, you are not punishing the bank. You are just punishing yourself. You are punishing your children. It is a curse you are putting on your generations. If you have taken a loan from any creditor or from any bank, if there's a challenge, go and sit down with your creditor. Even the Bible says, negotiate with your debtor before you reach the court. Because the court may throw you into the jail. So please, just have the good heart too. Most of the creditors are very good-hearted when you are available. But when you are not available, they'll never trust you.
Maybe just before we go, Pastor Kisinja Alwende should be a friend.
Very good friend of mine. Pastor.
Very nourishing. Blessings.
Welcome, Pastor.
Silas Bijedi says, for sure I've learned something today.
Okay.
I normally tell people, wacha tuone. I don't know how to say no, but from today I've learned something. May you be blessed.
You wacha tuone, it turns into a debt. Following day unaamka asubuhi, unapigiwa unaulizwa umepata.
Then Mary Tindo says hiyo ni kama kupeana false hope. Then anasema most youths fall victims of online savings, you better do M-Shwari lock savings kama hauna bank account.